Hi beautiful people, I hope you're doing good. Today in this video we will be taking a look at Bricksforge in combination with Bricks Builder. We will be creating a form with multi-steps, and we will also be using all the main field elements that Proforms offers, but we will also be looking at the live element, and also we will be adding a JSON file into a select field in order to have the countries listed in our form, so people don't have to type the country they're coming from. But without further ado, I would say let's just dive in. This is a website, a dummy website I created for tutorial purposes. Well, yeah, so it's called Tells and Tunes, and the idea is that it's a website about audiobooks for kids, and you could basically apply as an author. Most of the fields that we're going to be using, as I said, are the most simple ones that you can usually use, but at least you will have the right setup in order to use them. We will be configuring as well the multi-step elements that you can see here, and then we will be looking at other options here and there. I will show you now how it works, so we can just put our initial, so my name is Jimmy, and family name, and then we can click on next. Here we go. And there, as you can see, this is the live element that I was talking about. So it's reacting depending on what you wrote in the previous step right here. So whatever name you put here will be reflecting basically here. So it's a pleasure to meet you, Jimmy. Next, we will need your contact details. Obviously, we have the email address. Then we have the phone number. And then we can put whatever here. Paradise Street. Right? Why not? Number 77. Let's go. City, we're gonna call it Skyland. And it will be in, I don't know, Haiti. That sounds good. We're gonna click on next. Now tell us about the latest story you wrote. What was the title? So my friend ChatGPT actually already wrote something earlier, and it's Emil and Jasmine. Great adventure. It sounds fantastic, so we're gonna go for that right now. We can also take the description, although we have absolutely no reason to read this right now, and we're gonna put that right here. Has this already been published before? Nope. So we're gonna be on next, and we are coming to the last step, and which is last but not least, what are your favorite sort of books? And you can click here the different things. And you can, of course, submit. But before I submit, I just wanted to go back right here. One more, because I didn't say anything about it. But this is basically created with the JSON files. So I did not put the countries one by one myself. Of course not. So I will be showing you how to do this, and I will put the link in the description of that video in order for you to be able to achieve this as well. So then we can go next, of course. This is already filled in. This is already filled in. And then we can just submit. Thank you for applying. Our HR team will contact you as soon as possible. Right. So, of course, this is where the form is already. And as you can see, we have all the fields right there in the structure. And I created a page, basically not a duplicate, but just I set up the design. It's not about design today, it's really about the function of the Proforms elements from Bricksforge. So therefore, we are gonna start. And so we have, I always usually create a Proforms wrapper that helps me basically to make sure that I can style the background of my Proform element. You can also do it obviously from the Proform that you would be having here. I just prefer to do it there. So we're gonna go directly and look Proforms element. Yes, if you wonder why you're seeing it this way, it's because I'm using Advanced Themer, basically a plugin that allows you to have different tweaks for the Bricks Builder, such as there, so I can toggle into the different column. This is not the purpose of the video, but if you see some different things like that in terms of classes, I use Core Framework. So yeah, at least you know why it could eventually be different from what you see on your screen. So we have the Proforms right there. We're gonna add it to our structure. And you can see it already added a couple fields. So we have a text field, email, text area, and a submit button. For now, we're just gonna delete everything. Here we go. So first, we are gonna put a step 1 wrapper. So we have a block right here. And then I put with a basic text, and then we can start adding our fields for the name and first name and full name, sorry, and family name. So as you can see here, we have the first field for the first name, the second field for the family name. I will be going on into adding the 2 other fields. So, and we're gonna already change that to first name. I like to keep my structure quite clean with all the names that are proper to which element. Just because when you get into such a form where you have a lot of different steps and everything, it makes life just a little bit easier, and you can easily toggle between the different part where you straight away want to go, instead of just like having to look at 100 times the basic text or step without any number or anything, and just losing time now. Okay, so we have that, and I think we should be good for this. No, I'm sorry, we need the next button, of course. Okay, so that's an interesting step, because we're gonna be starting to add the steps into the form. So let's go add the element already. And next step, yes, we are gonna have to trigger the step after. So we're gonna already set up this as well. As you can see here, they switch. So let's just put the next step on top of the step. It's very important, otherwise it would not work, or at least the next step would be belonging to that step, which obviously should not be this way. I am just gonna copy the text from here. It will be much faster for me. Okay. And I am also gonna copy the styles. But for now, let's focus on the Proforms element from Bricksforge. Bricksforge is really one of the best purchases I've done so far. And I love having it in my stack. It just really helps me on so many points. I will be making other videos about Bricksforge and other elements that you can use. It's really a fantastic plugin. But yes, let's keep on going. So then we have our form with our first name, and I'm also gonna add a custom ID. It's just easier. You will see, especially when you wanna use the live element, because then you know obviously the ID up front, instead of having those random numbers and letters every time. So we're good for this one, and we are going to make it required. We're here, so we have our first name. All right, let's do the same for our family name. For the next button, I'm going to do the same, guys. I'm sorry for this, but I just want to lose time on the design. So this is just going to be pasted here. And I'm also going to paste the style of that one. Paste this down.
Nope.
Oops. Why did it not paste? Let's try again. Maybe I went too fast. Paste down.
Nope.
No. All right. Well, we're gonna add them very quickly. Yeah. All right. Maybe because it's on a different page. It's weird because I usually do that, and yeah. All right. Anyway, so we are done with the first step. Let's see how it works. And we have our first step. So let's write. Oops, I didn't hide the label here. So we'll be doing this in a second. But then we have Jim here, and does it go into the next one? Yes, it's not working now because we did not set up the next step, and there is nothing in the next step. So basically that's pretty normal for now.
Nope.
So let's go on after the next step. Oh yeah, we needed to hide the label there. We have the step, and we need to add a block. Yes, and in that block, we are gonna need the live element, the live value element, sorry, mistake. And we are also gonna copy this, paste it there. We'll change it into, so first of all, intro text section. There we go. Live value and intro heading. This one I will put, yeah, I can still put it like this. I will leave it like that for now. Then we have an email field. We are going to need a telephone field. Tel field, we have it. And then we have another block because inside we are going to put the address field. So when we click on there, we are going to start by putting a text field area. This will be for, if I'm correct, for the address and the house number. Then we need one for the postcode city. All right. So we're just going to duplicate this one as well. Duplicate and duplicate. Here we go. And then we're going to add another one. And that's where the one where we're going to add the JSON file. Duplicate. Thank you. And this is going to be the country. And we have all the elements that we need for our second step. So now we're just going to be copying the information from the other one. So here, this is the live value field. You can use it in so many different ways. So let's just go there. And basically what it allows you to do is to show a data that will be previously filled in any kind of field, basically. You can even use this to show a result of a calculation, for example. But here we're going to simply use it to display the first name of that person that will be filling the form. So for this, we're going to connect it to the form field ID. And that's where I was saying that earlier, it was actually quite smart to name your custom ID with a specific ID, because now I would not even have to look for it. But basically, we can just copy that and put it into the live value right there, which means now whatever I write here, I'm not sure it will show in the backend. I can't remember. No, it does not. But it will definitely be showing on the front end after. And then, of course, you can add like a suffix, a prefix, etc. So we are going to do this as well. It's a pleasure to meet you. And then you will have the data. So in that case, the first name of the person. Here we go. One thing I noticed is that it's important to leave a space. Well, I mean, depending on what content you would put it here in the prefix, if you need or not, but know that there is no space by default coming between the prefix and the first name. So never forget to really put space right there at the end of the prefix, so you're sure that you have a space before the first name appears on the front end. Okay, and since we copied that text, we are gonna do the same as we had here. I just see that here, my email and my telephone are not put it properly. So I'm just going to put it here. And you see, I have to reorder a bit everything, but that should be better now. Yeah, let's move on further with the next field. So this one is the email field. So we're just going to write email here, and we're going to copy this, hide the label in the placeholder and put it right there. Cool. We are going to quickly have a look at validations, and validation is pretty cool because it allows you to make sure that your people filling the form will be adding an email and not just a text. So we're going to go right here and we're going to put we're going to go and put email right here. You could put a validation message. I'm not, but yeah, that prevents from them to not writing an email address here. If you would not put, for example, the @ sign and the dot whatever domain, you would not be able to go further on to the next step for that. Do we put it required? Yes, of course we put it required, otherwise we can't contact them after. If they don't do that, this is the phone number, so we're going to put it here, phone. We can put here phone number, for example, and then we're going to copy this, put it into the placeholder. All right, and into the numeric, or the input mode, sorry, where you see here in numeric by default, I would suggest you to put the telephone one. Why? Because if people are actually filling that form from their phone, they will be prompted with the keyboard when you actually try to type a phone number. All right, so our phone field is set up. If I'm correct, we are going to now into the address. And so we're going to put here, this is the street. I did not hide the label. So here we go. You still see them here. But when we save the form and actually go onto the front end, you will be seeing that they'll be disappearing. Here we go. We're just going to save just to be sure that we are not losing anything. So those are the basic settings. Obviously, there is so much more you could do with all those settings. There will probably be other videos in the future where I'll be going more into details and more into also more complicated functions for some people. But I thought that for the first video and for the people just acquiring Bricksforge at this time, it's a good subject to start with. Next, we're gonna go into the country field, and this is where we're gonna be using the JSON file, and I'm gonna put that first, so at least we have it set. The setting is pretty much the same. We do not want to show the label, so we hide that. We want it required. And okay, so there. Nope. Where is it? Did I make a mistake? Let me see. Oh yeah, of course I did a mistake. Oh my god, I put here just a text field. That's absolutely not what we need. So we're just gonna go back into the elements and we're gonna take a select field. Of course. Here we go. And here we're gonna call it country. Yes, that's much better. Looking much better. All right. And here, of course, there we have also to change it. That's what I'm talking about. We're gonna put it require show label not. Here we have the JSON data, and in that space, basically you can put any JSON files that would belong for a form. And on this one particular one, we're gonna add some countries. And for this, you could just Google it. That's basically what I've done. I ended up into that GitHub article. Which again will be linked into the description. It's an original article from 2012 or 13, if I'm correct. But when you scroll down a little bit, you will see a version from 2023. I mean, as you can see here in my scroll bar, I don't know if you see it. Yes, you can. Or just a little bit because it's cut off. Okay, I'm really at the top. And you could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on to find the list you actually prefer or not, or updated. To be honest, I stopped at the first one that looked pretty correct for the example that I needed. But of course, you could just take any list or find any other list. So we're just going to copy this, go there, and basically the only thing you have to do is literally just paste it. But now we have to put the alternative label key and the alternative value key. And this is depending on what data you want to let appear in the front end. So what I want to say with this is that, for example, we want the country names to appear here. So we are going to take the name because this is the data that we need here. But it's also the same data. We are not going to use the code. So we're just going to use name here as well, because in the submission form, we would like to have it appear as the name. So it will be showing the name. Right. And we are done with our section 2. Let's save. And shall we see maybe in the front end where we at? Okay. So I can see already. Let me see. What is this one? Here, it seems like it's... Oh! Of course, I did not put that. Let me see. What did I miss? Why is this not showing? Hey, we're all learning, yeah? Every day. So the next step, next, yeah, thank you. Next, yeah, it's a step. All right. We're good, thank you. Let's save this. Did I miss something? Let me see. Next, okay, step. Oh, what? Oh, of course. Duh. It should be here. And so, yes, of course. Oh my God. So sorry for that. So basically my step was on the wrong place. Let me control Z this so you can see what happened. Okay, so my step was there. Thank you. Was there. But you see it's still under the step 1. And that's why basically we still have it here, because you understand that the step 1 is finishing there. So let's move this. Yes, we're good. Just on my other previous example that we have in the other page, I don't have this one into the intro text section, obviously, so I'm just gonna move them out as well. Could have thought about this before. Okay, so after this, because you're gonna see we're gonna be reusing that block a couple times throughout the form, I'm actually gonna add a block not into the address, so we're gonna push it out. Thank you very much, and we're gonna call it previous next, because I like to group my previous and next button into one block. It allows me to have more freedom in terms of designing. So I'm just going there, and I'm going all the way down and click on previous and also on next, right? And out of that, I'm going to click on Proform, and I'm going to add a step, which will be showing at the bottom of our list. Perfect, as expected. And we're going to call it, whoops, this one is actually step 1. This is step 2. See how easy it can get to just forget to name your different elements in the structure, but it's really important. Okay, we're good. Let's close the address. We don't need it. So we have the previous. Now we're going to add a basic text. Then we are going to have a text area. We have another basic text after that. And we have a radio wrapper as well. We're set up for the step 3 so far. We will be adding the previous next a bit later. But for now, I just want to go over some styling for this real quick. So okay, by the way, we added our JSON file, but we haven't checked it, how it looks like. So as you can see right there, we have our elements, not the elements, but the countries list. And basically, you see, for some reason, it's taking it's transparent. I would not want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go real quick into that element. So I'm just going to go into the address, the country, and I'm going to use the modern style, and you're going to see how it looks. It looks indeed just more modern, but also it matches the rest of my elements. Again, I'm just going to copy these styles that I had previously. And talking about that, I am going to go into that block. I want them horizontal, and I want a column gap of 2 rem. Okay, let's go on to add the information for step 3. Did I miss the title book? Yes, I missed the title book. So we're going to take another text here. We're going to put it. So yeah, we're going to leave it here, and we're going to have to copy this one and add it again after the book title. Great. The title. So we are going to go with there. Here we go. Stories title. Great. We're going to copy this. We don't want to show the label. Put it in the placeholder. Yes, stories title. Great. Next, it is, what was the story about? Tell us more. Great. And into, how did I call that one? Oh, of course, stories description. So I'm just going to copy this as well. Sorry, guys, if I'm going a bit fast, but I don't want this tutorial to be too long. It's already way too long, or at least way longer than I wanted it to be. But I just want to take the time to show you what to do and understand what you're doing. It's a lot of repetition when you come to certain fields, obviously. But you know, practice is the golden rule to success. So let's practice. So the short description, we're good. Is it required? No, not yet. Well, now it is. So perfect. And we are gonna go into the next text. Good. All right. Next we have the radio wrapper. How did I call that one? Ooh, we need some bit of structure there. Right. Okay, so we are here and we're gonna hide the label. However, we're gonna still put that and we're gonna put it, call this published. Okay. In this label, we're just gonna have a value, a label of yes, put a value of yes, a label of no, put a value of no. We're good. And it's very important, just want to mention that it's very important that you keep your options into a radio wrapper. In the next step, we will be looking at checkbox wrappers, where you will see it's the exact same system. So always have to be into a wrapper. If I'm correct, it should be written there. Yes, this element should be used as a child of a radio wrapper. So you have the child, like the child is the answer, and your parent is basically the wrapper. Okay, so we're good with that step. As I said earlier, we would copy the previous next because basically this is the exact same step. So we're just gonna copy it from there. Copy. It is copied. We are gonna go out there. I just want to put it there because otherwise it's gonna go straight into the wrapper, which I don't want to. So let's just move that up again. Here we go. We have the previous and next button, and we are good to go on to the next step. Let's add then step 4. Okay, under that step, we are gonna use a basic text. And we are gonna use a checkbox wrapper. So we have the radio checkbox wrapper right here. Okay, and that's it. Okay, so in our checkbox wrapper, oops, the basic text should be above. Okay, and we're gonna add 5 options. So we're gonna do it 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. We're good. Boom. And we're gonna call this stories style. How did I call this one? Book styles. I could have called it story styles, actually. Would have been better. Stories style. And we do not want to show the label. The label would still be stories style. There you go. We want them to show horizontal, and we're going to give them a gap of 2 rem. Second type, that would be awesome. Okay. And I can see, I just forgot. Sorry for jumping back and forth. Just want to make sure that it still looks okay. Here we go. Those as well, actually, they need to be here published. But we're here, and I want to call in a gap of 2 rem as well to stay into our cohesion with the rest. It's required. Great. Okay, so we're gonna go into the last part of it. I'm gonna try to speed up the process. Copy the style, paste the style. Here we go. And into the stories, we need to change our label. The first one was adventurous. So we're going to call this, and it's going to also be our value. The second one was fairy tales. We are going to copy this ones, and you're going to see why. Copy, paste it in the end. All right. We're going to take off. Oops, it's inside. You see the stories styles. So we're going to take it out, and it's going to be previous. Oop, la. Let me control Z that. Thank you. And submit, because this is the last step of our form. Once we're there, we're going to delete the next step, because obviously the next step won't be existing, but we are actually going to go into here and put the submit right there. Submit button is here. Now we have our submit button. You might be wondering why there is a second one. Let me check. Why would there be a second one? Maybe because I deleted it before. We're just going to leave it for now. It could just be like, let me save that. Maybe if I reload this. Let's see. Yes, that was just a refresh issue. We are going to copy the style of that. Obviously, apply it to our submit button. All right, this is just a matter of UI, but basically, as you can see, I have a lot of different colors on my website, and I chose deliberately to have only one color for all my call to actions. So people, every time they see that greenish color, they know they have to take an action. And actually, in order to make them go into the next step more easily, it's easier if we like just tone down the color of that one. So as you can see here, I chose a complete different color. Well, not a complete different color, but I chose that. So it's a bit less obvious. So we're just going to copy the style of this one. Hopefully I can just paste it there. And we should be done. So now let's look on the front end how it looks. And what's your name? My name is Jimmy. My family name is T. Next, my phone number plus street number, Paradise Street. Up. Postcode 1234. City is Skyland, and what country is gonna be our this street? Let's put on Lesotho. Let's go on to next. Here, has it already been published? No. Next. Last but not least, what are your favorite sort of books? Fairy tales, label, comic, and we can submit. Here I didn't change the message, so we're still gonna have to do this. And we're gonna go through really quick through the settings on where you would be receiving this email once the form is submitted. So let's go do this to round up the tutorial. So we have to go and set up some things last before we close up with that video. We're not going to get too much into this. The submit button, well, it means what it means. It is a submit button. You can change the styling and everything else right there. For me, it's fine like that. The actions, of course, this is where you decide what you want your button submit to do, basically. In that case, we are just going to send an email. We will go over some other options the next time into in the next videos. But for now, let's just stick to this. And you see, once you submit your form, basically, this is the message that appears once it's successful. Well, so we are just going to copy that one. Here we go. Into our email. That's pretty simple. This would be then a contact form. I would say it's smarter if you put something like new application received. That's more talking that contact form request. That would actually be if you would have a contact form request, but that's not the case. Send to email address. This is the email address where it will be sent to. This is now by default put to my admin email, but you could basically choose a custom email address or so you would enter it here. You could put a comma and put a second email address. And from the email address, here you have from the name. This is most of the time by default the name of your website. This one obviously will be taking the email that comes right here. And here in the email content, you have all fields. So here we go. We are going to test it one last time just to make sure that it all works properly before we cut off with this video. All right, let's start again. Good. Iceland. Oh, that's on my list actually. All right, let me... Is it already been published? Nope. We like that. Yes. And we're ready to submit. Submit. Basically, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that video. It was quite of a long one, but I hope you learned a little bit of things. The JSON file will be linked in the description of this video. Thank you so much for your patience. I hope you learned something. And until the next time, I'll speak to you soon. Bye, guys.